According to the president of the United States, he likes to hang out with losers. And what these losers are doing is they are wrapping this very delicate, thin skinned man in bubble wrap. And he is making really homicidal decisions right now, truly homicidal decisions in war, cutting funding to social safety net programs in the United States of America. And even his own chief of staff, Susie Wiles, is weighing in on this and expressing concerns. This is breaking right now. Please pop this up. Susie Wiles has expressed concerns that aides are giving Trump a rose-colored view of how the war was being perceived domestically, telling Trump what he wanted to hear and urged them to be more forthright with the boss about the political and economic risks. And so I think we all kind of know this. And this is something that is so it's just not even that deep. You have people, presidents like Lincoln or President Obama, that wanted to have a team of rivals that welcomed differing thoughts and differing opinions. Trump doesn't want that. I guarantee you he's going to find out that Susie Wiles said this. And soon she too will be on the chopping block like Pam Bondi and Kristi Noem, because he will not tolerate this type of disloyalty. Pumps.
Here's the thing with Susie Wiles, too. I mean, she has a lot of nerve. If as the chief of staff, isn't her job to present reality to the president? I mean, I know that that's probably in theory more than reality, but she has long been kissing his ass and telling him what he wants to hear. So I kind of falls on deaf ears coming from her.
Well, it completely does. But I think the confirming that this is one of his biggest, more escalating moves he's made. He has started a war with Iran. They are bombing schoolgirls. They're hitting infrastructure, which is a feature of the way the IDF fights. The war crimes are piling on, and Trump is surrounded by people that make him sizzle reels to express this. And the economic problems with this are going to be so incredibly massive. And then I think, okay, Susie Wiles is trying to step in. I agree, it falls on deaf ears, but at least she's somewhat trying. Are any of the industry titans going to finally step in? Or is everybody just going to go, are they going to rearrange the deck chairs on the Titanic with this guy until we're completely FUBAR? I mean, fucked up beyond all recognition. Is that where we're heading? And so let's dive into the polling on the American electorate. Kylie, pop this up. Conservative commentator and trial lawyer Robert Barnes is predicting the Democrats will retake the Senate 53-47 this November. He predicts Democrats will flip Ohio, North Carolina, Iowa, Alaska, Maine, and Nebraska. So what I want to say about this is good. I'm glad this is going to happen. But we still have a problem with Democrats. Democrats are winning just because of Trump, because Trump is so bad. We have to install a type of permanent supermajority that can really rectify how badly this is and how badly administration after administration has abandoned the working class. That is what is at the core of this. This is what has bred and incubated this level of fascism. And let's dive into Trump's approvals. This is pretty stunning stuff. Pop this up. So Trump is handling voting and elections, 43% approve, immigration, 41%, foreign affairs, 36%, job overall, 35%. We do know that it has dropped even in some other polls down to 31%. Healthcare, 34%, the economy, 31%, inflation, 27%, and gas prices, 24%. It is known in political circles that gas prices are the kiss of death because nobody can avoid it. He's at a 24% approval rating on gas prices, pumps.
Well, and you look at the economy and inflation, he stands up before, the State of the Union, all the speeches, inflation's down, we're so good. And these people, they're so unable to think critically that they're like, okay, well, my prices are up, but obviously Trump said their prices down. So it's just where I'm going to the grocery store. But gas is universal. That's kind of where I see that. And I do think it's interesting on immigration. That was his big push. And now that has flipped shit because it has been so vile and craven the way it's been handled.
Yes. All right. Now here's a video with a deeper dive into the double-digit drop among GOP support on the economy. Play the clip.
1% approval. That is a record low for Donald Trump. You can see here over time his handling of the economy. And that, by the way, among Republicans is at 71%. Just in January, he had 85% approval on the economy with Republicans. So we're seeing slippage there as well on the economy factor, and largely driven by really pessimistic assessment from the American people. 77% say economic conditions in the country are poor. Only 23% say they're good.
So this is where Democrats really, really, really need to start messaging the following. The Republican Party has been lying to you for decades. This notion that they are good with the economy and that wealth trickles down. And if you give billionaires tax breaks, they're going to make sure everybody's employed is bullshit. It's a lie that has been perpetuated from Ronald Reagan on. It is a jet stream of bullshit. The fact of the matter is we simply cannot afford these billionaires in this country. These billionaires are grotesquely expensive for any country. They live pretty much tax-free. The average worker, look around. Every time you go out in the world, know that these workers that you have interactions with, that might service you, that you might service them, pay a higher percentage in their earnings than Elon Musk, than Jeff Bezos, you name the billionaire. They are paying less percentage. But this victimhood of billionaires and Donald Trump that's been is presented to the electorate as, well, we can't tax them. They're going to pack their stuff up and move to a different state. Let them. Let them. They will go and wreck every single state they move into because we simply cannot afford them. But what we need so much right now is for a Democratic Party to have moral clarity on this issue and say, yes, we're going to tax billionaires. You're goddamn right. We're going to tax them. We are going to create a government that provides services and a social safety net for its citizens. We're going to quit spending so much money on our military and starting insane wars. And so, again, I'm always mystified at the lack of a coalesced, unified opposition party. And the reason why we don't have a totally unified opposition party is that liberals collaborate with fascists to pat the backs of the oligarchs. Historically, this is what they do.
I wonder if Democrats get a huge swing in Congress, if they're able to change the rules at the Supreme Court, if surely everyone would support overturning Citizens United. I would hope.
I mean, here's the thing. They've had an opportunity to do stuff about guns. They have an opportunity to. Obama had a supermajority. He could have codified Roe in federal law. This is why I think it's so important to get so many of the establishment Democrats out of there, because they're always going to service their lobbyists and their PACs. And so for us to think that people who take money from PACs are going to go to overturn PACs is insane. This is why we've never done anything about guns, because they all take money from guns. And so this is why the Democratic Party right now, despite winning, if you look at polling internally, the Democrats among Democrats have record low approval ratings because we won an opposition party. And right now, the Democrats would much rather demean Hassan Piker and demean the far left of the party to protect billionaires that simply this country cannot afford any longer. And this is stunning. This is Trump's polling with younger voters. Pop this up. He's at 20% with 18 to 34-year-olds. 20%. And Brian Tyler Cohen says it would be bad enough that Trump is drowning with young Americans. It's worse that the rest of the GOP isn't even allowed to distance themselves from Trump for fear of retribution, meaning the whole party has to embrace this albatross around their necks. Turns out there's a downside to being in a cult. 20%. That gives me some hope.
Yeah, it gives me some hope. But I also am, talking to people that the youth of the right is so fucking radical that it makes the MAGA party look pedestrian in a lot of ways. So that 20% is loud, vicious, and rabidly racist, misogynistic, all the bad things.
They are. You're exactly right. Okay. And now this is good. This is really good news, you guys, because the people that are in the cult, that's where you hear this Trump has 90% approval. Well, those are the cultists. And those polls are real when you poll people that identify as MAGA. But here is some great news. Fewer people are identifying as Republicans. Pop this up. Gallup poll says that fewer Americans are calling themselves Republicans. So I think that is just really great news, because in order to win, to get everything to swing back, we have to stay engaged and we have to do reputational brand damage to the Republican Party / MAGA. And they are one of the same right now. George W. Bush killed the Republican Party. He was such an abject failure. He did exactly what Trump did. He just drug it out over 8 years. Trump did what George W. Bush did in record time. The war crimes, lying about going into war, wrecking the economy. The Republican Party was in tatters. And then Trump came in and offered this populist, demagogue, bullshit, con man pitch. And the Republicans had done a lot of reputational damage to Hillary because they knew that she was going to run. So here's where my message is for you, viewer and listener. We have to do reputational brand damage to MAGA and any sort of heir apparent. Tucker Carlson says he wants to run for office. Tucker Carlson, I want to remind you, says that he was attacked by 4 demons in his sleep. I mean, he just said this recently. He refers to gay people as FAGGOTSs. So anybody who thinks Tucker Carlson is not a con artist and a bald-faced liar and a freak is playing with fire. A lot of people like him because they think he has moral clarity on Israel. And people are so desperate for people to call that out. But Tucker Carlson is not your guy. If he's willing to throw gay people under the bus, if he's willing to lie and Christian signal to his rabid base that he was attacked by demons in his sleep, you think this guy should be president? I mean, for God's sakes. Okay. And then lastly here, we have a GOP House members. Oh, this is great. Pumps, you'll love this. GOP House members are fleeing Congress in record numbers. They would rather not run than face Trump and his MAGA wrath. And pop this up, Kylie. Okay, so The Hill is reporting House Republicans flee Congress in record numbers amid growing dysfunction. So here's something I just want to say about this. These guys are cowards. They are cowards. Like, they cannot stand 10 toes down and say, we oppose this. I mean, I disagree politically with Thomas Massie on just about everything, but at least he fucking believes in something and he has conviction. So therefore, my disagreements with Thomas Massie are political. I mean, he sees that child rape, he sees the Epstein stuff, and he calls it out accordingly. Pumps, what's your take on all that?
I kind of had the same thought you did. Like, these people would rather, instead of standing up to this regime, even though they're not running again, like, they're resigning in silence versus saying, I am quitting because my party has left me. These people are not making decisions in the best interest of the American people. They're not doing that because they just want to slink off into the private sector and still suck off whatever tits they've made in their work. But my mind goes to Thomas Massie, and it is my understanding, I'm certainly not an expert on it, that he is actually projected to win his race, even with Trump against him. The numbers look good for him. And so, this is we have one example with this crazy shit ass president. We could put our finger on one person that said, I'm going to try to keep my seat and I'm going to come out against the regime. One.
Yeah, but I will say that a Trump endorsement seems to be an L. It seems that you're taking an L. Like, he endorsed this Palm Beach candidate when Trump voted by mail, and that Palm Beach Republican, MAGA Republican, got his ass beat. And I think that's a beautiful thing. So the MAGA brand is dead, but we need to do continue ongoing reputational damage. And let me just tell you how focused our opponent is on this. They are still fixated on Hillary Clinton. They called her and Bill Clinton in to congressional hearings. They are relentless. And that type of myopic focus in damaging their opponent is something that we have to really, really deploy to win supermajorities. And it should be so easy because these people are fucking dipshits. I mean, objectively, verifiably, demonstrably fucking morons.